So what's holding you back? Let's go through these really quickly. Myth number one. Think back to any dog class you've ever taken, any advice you've ever been given, right? Same old, same old. Sit down, stay. How frustrating for the dog not to be able to be a participant in his own learning process. Believe me, my dogs know sit down, wait, stay, but they learned them. They figured out on their own what made them valuable. I did not teach my dogs sit down, stay. Stillness and calmness, isn't that really what you want? Remember Ducati and Alive stories? What they both discovered and what I discovered is if I could teach them both to go and hang out on a mat, whether it's a platform, whether it's just a boundary, anything like that, and chill out, life could go on. Everything happy would start from that point. They could transition past each other. It really doesn't matter what the position is in. I love active dogs, but there's only so much activity one family can handle when you're trying to get dinner ready or guests arrive and they stay, or when you're out on your walks. What if instead of focusing on making the dogs sit, you were able to have them settle, be still, be calm, and yet be ready to go instantly? Myth number two. Have you ever thought you missed some window to teach your dog something? I hear this all the time in groups. Or maybe you've thought, if only I'd with your dog. Well, maybe you've heard of something called FOMO, fear of missing out. It's so simple. The best time to start teaching your dog new stuff, start learning about him, is right now. Imagine a world where you were only permitted to look at the owner, ever. How would you ever learn about your world? How would you associate sounds to physical things? How would you know if you're going to be injured or when to move? How could you ever build confidence if you never knew your world? You wouldn't. That's not a world we want for our dogs. That's what we did with Alive, is we allowed her, because she didn't understand the world, we allowed her to sit and watch the world. When we overlay simple exercises with great choices by the dog, you build a better understanding of your dog's clarity and confidence, how to build it and how to maintain it. Your dogs are more capable and confident when they're allowed to make choices. Your dogs use up their high energy in learning, and gone are the tightly wound dogs that can't relax. With confidence and clarity, they no longer react to everything and anything. Those frustrating active dog behaviors are magically transformed. That myriad of challenges like barking, jumping up on people, not coming when called, reactivity, pulling on a leash, disappear over time to peel back the onion skin of the dog of your dreams. Now here's my most the one that people either love it or they tell me I'm crazy. You are not a wolf, and neither is your dog. Unless you're in the scouting movement, you are not a pack leader. Pack leader is a metaphor, like the analogy of getting out of debt, cutting out your daily Starbucks coffee, what they call the latte factor. It's not the coffee you need to cut out, it's the excess that you don't need, things that are holding you back from your best. That could be a second car, a vacation home, a yacht, 30 pairs of shoes, or yes, it might be that extra coffee. So let's explore this in relation to your active dog. Here's the scoop. We stumble a lot when we're asking the dog to do something. Most of us are inconsistent. How would you like a pack leader that does that? Think about how many different ways you call your dog. In one incident, the average is 8. I have had students hit 10 permutations in one call. When you're clear both in your words, your actions, and your expectations, the dog has clarity. And clarity is the secret to the most powerful training systems. You and your dog are part of a team. Team members know what the other player is going to do even before he does it. What you really are is the leader, the one that steps up as your best self every single time, in every moment, to do the best for your dog. And that's your only objective. Your dog is a genius. Let him show you what you can do. Those dogs that are super frustrating stealers, how do you think they figured stuff out? Sure, you're going to mess it up. We all do. It's part of the learning process. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a reason they use experienced trainers to teach dangerous zoo animals like lions, tigers, gorillas, and trained dogs for the new zoo trainers. It's challenging learning to train your dog when your dog is a blank canvas, but the results are so much more beautiful. Now, I want you to write down just one word to describe your perfect active dog. Here's your tip number 2. Training your dog is overwhelming if you think you've got to get everything right every time. Never happens.